Hello everybody, Everyman Prepping here, and today I want to go over saving seeds. We're gonna go through and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna get the seeds out of this zucchini plant. Here, I'll move the camera in a minute so we get a better angle of this. But first, let's talk about why you want to save seeds. Why do you want to save seeds from your vegetables? First of all, you need to start with heirloom plants, plant varieties that are heirloom, so you can save the seeds from them. If they're hybrids, who knows where you're going to get if you save those seeds. You probably won't get a good looking plant and a good producing fruit or vegetable out of it. So start with your heirlooms, and then you got to let them grow, mature fully. Like this is a huge zucchini. You don't eat them this big. And I've had this in the barn here for a couple weeks now, and I finally got time to do it. But into the season, you want to pick vegetables from the strongest plants that produce the best fruit, the best vegetables, that grew the finest, the biggest peppers, the best tomatoes that ripened well. The reason is you want to pass those genes on. You want to collect those seeds so next year you have a replication of the best fruit that grew. Also, the plants that grew the best in your garden are the ones adapted for your little microenvironment. We all have, microclimate, microenvironment in our yards. And if you picked the plant that thrived the most, produced the most fruit, the best looking fruit, the best quality, then you want to, keep those year after year. So every year you do this, as you collect the seeds and plant them, you're going to come out with your own seed varieties for every plant that you have that grows the best in your area. Now, are you going to need, you may grow 5, 6, 10 zucchini plants. You will probably get 50, 100 seeds out of this. Do we need that many? Yes and no. No, we're not going to plant them all the time, but we're going to save them for years. It gives us time to replant in case something happens. Then I can pass them on to friends and family if they need them. Seeds might not be available one day. That day might come where you can't get seeds. And I'll have them. I'll have a stockpile of them. So, I can barter seeds for other stuff that I need. So save as many seeds you can. I'll talk about later when we're getting them out of here, what I do to dry them and preserve them and whatnot. But first, in addition, please like this video. Subscribe if you haven't done so. If you have subscribed, thank you so much. Ring that bell. And now what I'll do is I'll turn the camera to focus more on the plant here. And we'll talk, or the vegetable here, the zucchini. And we'll talk more about how we go about saving them and preserving them so they'll last through a few years of planting. Okay, now we're back. The camera focused more on the zucchini itself. Like I said, you can save seeds from tons of vegetables. You're just basically going to see my hands here working. You don't need to see my ugly mug as we do this. The more important part. So there's a couple ways. On this, you can slice it. You can slice it horizontally here, but I find that cuts a lot of the seeds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to slice it in rings and see what I can get out by slicing it in rings and going from there. So I'm just going to cut into it here. Like I said, when it's fully mature, it's going to be nice and tough. And as you can see here, see if I can hold this up, you can see them in the middle. If I slice that, if I slice it horizontally this way, I'm going to cut through a lot of those. Even these we can pull out just from doing it this way. And I'm going to just cut a bunch of rings out of these, but you'll see the seeds fully matured, and you'll know when you picked a mature enough seed because the seed is thick, it's fully formed. You can tell it's not skinny. Sometimes there's nothing to it. It's really thin, slim, flimsy, but these are not. So you're going to pull all these out, and what I do is I usually get a container, and I'll just start putting them in here. And then you can see there's some mucus, it's not mucus, but there's some residue on all of them, some stringiness. What we'll do after we get enough of these out of here is I will wash them real quickly under water, and then I'll put them out on wax paper or parchment paper. Let's do a couple more so I can show you here, and we'll just cut another thick slice out of this. As you can see, another circle here. Basically going to push out the middle, and you're basically ended up with a big donut here. Make yourself a zucchini donut. And you got all the seeds. So we'll get these out of here. Okay, we'll wash them. And then we do, like I said, we'll put them on the parchment paper, and then you let them dry for many days in a cool, dark place. I'll probably do it inside the little barn here. Just let them sit there. They're not in the sun. They're not in the heat. They're not going to germinate or anything. They're just going to dry out. And they need to be fully dried before you store them. I'm talking a couple weeks at least, letting them sit out and dry. You'll know because they'll look like the seeds you buy from the store. And as you see, just keep putting them in there. So I'll continue with that later. You can see what it looks like here. And so after you get them all taken out and washed on the wax paper and dried for a couple weeks, make sure they're fully dried. Take them off. Then you're going to need to store them in a jar. I keep old glass jars, whether it be from jelly, jam, seasonings. Glass jars, I keep those. And what I do is then after they're dry, I fill up the jars. And then if they're brown glass, I don't do anything. But if they're clear glass, I'll usually tape up all around it. Use blue tape, duct tape, whatever you want. So it makes it dark. I fill them up in there, put the lid on tight. I label them. I'd label this zucchini. I'd put the year that this came out, 2022. And then I would store them. I usually store them in a closet inside the house. Nice, cool, dark closet. And it's always worked for me. And I've done this to many and many vegetables. Soon, if you do it to all your vegetables, you're going to become your own, seed store, seed vault. You can grow everything in your garden, almost everything in your garden from your own stores. And like I said, you're going to develop a quality of fruit and vegetable that's tailored to your individual climate. So, and also, is this waste? Are we going to waste this stuff? This stuff here? No. This is chicken food now. Like I said, you have chickens. They're great garbage disposals. They will take care of everything. Now, these were grown organically. This goes to the chickens. They'll love it. Give them 1 or 2 a day, save the rest. If it dries out a little bit, they don't care. Any fruit or vegetable that you take the seeds out of, because we're not eating this, but the chickens will do it and they'll love it. And, it helps reduce the cost of feed for the chickens. So that's all I have for you today. Go out and save your seeds. If you've already taken them from your harvest, you set some aside, take them out, save them, dry them, store them. Next year, you'll be ready to go. You'll have them for trade, barter, helping out friends and families. It's a great way to perpetuate your garden without relying on the system. So until next time, keep your ear to the ground and head on a swivel.